Jesus, Auntie. How much land have you got? You could build 100 houses here.
Well, that won't be happening.
This land is just amazing.
Let me tell you, people have always wanted this land.
I can see why.
It'll be left alone, and that's it.
This land, so you have two characters with really distinct point of views coming into a conflict, and each having a difference of opinion over this land and what the value of it is and what it means to them. And there's an ominous tone to this piece and lots of hints of foreshadowing, but it doesn't give away the ending. One hint of foreshadowing that comes to mind, the close-ups on the soup, even just the decision to, walk through the woods to get him to the quicksand. There's some beautiful close-ups in this that really don't give away anything, but you do have a sense that there's this feeling of contentiousness between these characters, and the conflict between these characters really pushes the story forward.
This was really just cool and interesting, and I just found the back and forth between these two to really just be just kind of mesmerizing, compelling in a way, and really just forced you to kind of lean in and engage with it. And it was just a really interesting concept that I enjoyed. I think it was executed really well. Well written. The performances are great. Again, I love the back and forth between these two. Um, the night shots there were really great. Nothing was too dark. Nothing got muddied. It was bold. It was vivid. It was even symbolic in a way. There just felt like a lot of attention to detail here, and yeah, the overall film really was rewarded for it, and us, the audience. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
This land, I thought this was really intriguing. I thought this was, mysterious and kind of suspenseful and kind of spooky a little bit. I always think it's interesting when you have family dynamics at play, especially something like this where it was obviously complicated family dynamics at play with, a relative passing away, and then you have what is clearly like a different generation kind of trying to come in and assert some kind of pressure, some kind of, claim. And, obviously, if she made the choice not to go to the funeral in the first place, obviously there was tension there, and just kind of seeing how that played out and how she kind of just like let him be, gave him time, and like didn't necessarily immediately assume that he was there for what would be considered ill intent. But when it did become clear that it wasn't just that he was there with a greedy intent to kind of force her hand and try and, like I said, assert pressure, assert some sort of claim or dominance, that it wasn't even so much that, it's that he was going to not let it go, and that he wasn't going to heed her warning or listen to her opinion or listen to her her intention and what she clearly had been doing. She's clearly been living on that land for a very long time, and so she took matters into her own hand. And I thought that it showed the importance of respecting the land, and clearly she had a very high respect for that land and wanted to protect it and didn't want to sell it to just make a lot of money, even if it would have like put more houses on that land or whatever. She wanted to preserve the nature of it. She wanted to preserve the, I guess, magic of that place. And it showed just like a great connection to the land. I thought it was fun. I thought it was, like I said, spooky, and you had some kind of like mystical witchy vibes going on, which I thought was really fun. And they had a few choices that I really liked, like with her just not being very talkative and being very much of like this is what I'm gonna do, this is my plan, you're welcome to join, or I'm gonna ask you to do this, and I'm just gonna assume that either you're gonna do it and I'm gonna walk away anyway, or you're not gonna do it and I'm gonna do something else before I come back to it, with like asking him to chop the wood and stuff like that. Not really being there for like small talk and chit chat and stuff like that, I thought was really interesting. But overall, I really, really enjoyed it.
Um, I really liked this land. I like the idea of like a cautionary, like dark tale for take on environmentalism, like tale, like using like a almost like a parable, but like what like a grim fairy tale. Like what's like a parable but darker? Like a I don't know, like a dark story to like make a point about environmentalism. I think that's a creative idea, and I like the way it's done here. I think it was sufficiently like spooky and like intriguing. I thought both of the actors did great, excellent, S tier. Um, I was scared and engrossed at the same time, you know. I thought what these filmmakers did really well is evoking that like fear, building that tension within the audience. And it was used to make a bigger point, which I think that is when scary movies, quote unquote, are at their best. So, good job.